Hey, what's up, Aquarius? Welcome back to another timeless general tarot reading. I really appreciate that you are here, and you are sign number 2 that is going to be taking a look at a new spread I'm doing, utilizing the anime tarot deck I've got, and then the two AE weight decks on the side, which will augment the core energy from the anime deck. So let us see, what core energy do you have for this reading? Alright, so this one to come out for you. Core energy for your reading is the Prince of Swords, Page of Swords. No, excuse me, Prince of Swords in this deck is the Knight of Swords. So, Knight of Swords, Aquarius, this is actually Aquarius energy. Wind. It's representing Aquarius in general, though, so that's pretty cool for you, right off the bat. So, definitely a sign of haste, a sign of taking action, a sign of achievement, stabilization of certain quality, Page of Cups. So, very interesting stabilization internally and externally to a certain extent. Mentally and emotionally, I mean. Pretty interesting. Haste, that is strangely enough not just recklessly mental, it is showing a balance of mental and emotional, which is a very good balance to have for an achievement of sorts. So that is very interesting energy, for sure. Very good energy. It's a good quality to have for the... It's a very great pair for the Page of Cups energy, because there's some stabilization from the mental sort of actions of the Prince of Swords energy. So it sort of stabilizes the potentially elusive nature of the Page of Cups, grounds it in a pretty solid quality. So, excuse me, I'm trying to get another clarifier to come out here, but it is being a little tough. Okay, so there we have Wheel of Fortune and Nine of Swords. Fate seems to be granting you a plus here, or you are taking your opportunity as fate grants it to you. The quality embodied here is quite powerful in terms of potential energy. Potential self-stabilization is in a very good spot, and is part of the hasty nature. But this hasty nature balanced with a very good emotional capacity allows for achievement of great personal strength. And it's coming down to a lot of different factors, but there's a great blend of energy here for reaching that sort of success. So I'm going to expand upon the tertiary energies here by gaining 3 cards for the Page of Cups to start with. Since we are looking at, so far, all upright energy. So Page of Cups, first clarifier, Ace of Pentacles. When you are in this energy, other people find you pleasant to be around, because you're not just a elusively dreamy Page of Cups, but you're also not just a recklessly hasty Prince of Swords. You have a great balance of the two, a great blend of the two. And maybe you're some kind of Aquarius Pisces cusp, but the energy here allows you to be pleasant enough to receive gifts from others. Your quality brings generosity into your experience. Generosity from others to you. Whether that be because, in this instance, it seems to just be a form of graciousness, energy given in one way, which is redirected back to you in the form of material. And it does take this quality for that. It also may just be the fact that you can also achieve things, and the achievement of things allows people to find you in high quality, and that allows you to receive even more for this. So just even further clarify our great energy here. So we've got 2, so let's add those 2, another set of 2 though. So let me keep going here. Okay, so this one to come out. That's not enough. Okay, that one really wants to come out. So for Page of Cups, we're looking at Queen of Wands reverse. So that's a little strange. That's something, this type of energy could definitely, well, you'll have a harder time being detracted by this energy than this energy will be detracted by you. An emotionally manipulative energy. Definitely an energy you'd want to steer clear from. If you've got all this other energy set up for you, it could very likely be somebody who can't stand to see you achieve. So you've got to be very careful with people who are disappointed in your progress, disappointed in your growth. Trying to play on your heartstrings a little bit here, because that Page of Cups nature is typically manipulable by a Queen of Wands in reverse because of their willingness to be emotionally manipulative. But you've got this grounded Prince of Swords energy, which is helping to stabilize your emotionality, and it makes you more realistic when it comes to the potential dreams you find to be possible. So, and I just had the world fall out sideways, so I'm going to put that right here actually. Does that mean if that's fall out? So definitely a good position to be in for dealing with this Queen of Wands individual, because you're not in a emotionally, one of these energies or the other, the manipulation could get through well, but when they're blended, she cannot get through the same way. And it might not be so easy to deal with this individual, but you can at least guard yourself from it. Very strange then. This, I don't know, this gift, if this gift comes from the Queen of Wands in reverse, then this World card is sort of saying that completing some kind of material stability, material stability may get stalled, because if the Queen of Wands is coming in with a gift in order to manipulate you emotionally later, that can potentially stall the completion of that material manifestation. And it's in the works here, so watch out for somebody who wants to come in and give you money, and then once that's happened, they use it as an excuse to really get under your skin. Because if they get under your skin, what essentially their demands are very often are for you to not be as powerful. It's one way or the other somehow. But that's exactly what you're called to not sacrifice here. So just watch out for taking gifts from individuals like this Queen of Wands in reverse. Try to take the gifts from people who actually care about what you're up to. So let's move on to the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see if I can get anything clear for the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, how about something for the Nine of Wands then? Yeah, this deck is not squeaking out much here. Okay, so I got back to Wheel of Fortune in my mind, so look at Hangman reverse. So that's not too great, because Hanged Man reverse energy is wasting time, but not realizing you're wasting time, or lying to yourself about how you're wasting time. You're abusing the Hanged Man perspective to avoid something else. And if you're avoiding something that fate is setting up for you, that doesn't exactly have great connotations. So you definitely don't want to be lying to yourself about why you are trying to find a new perspective, or why you are retrospecting what you're putting your mental time into. If it's missing a beat here or there, it's going to take a toll on fate's ability to grant you these things, these opportunities to increase your strength. So now I have the Nine of Cups. it is a sign of happiness, but fate wants to grant you this happiness. Things can line up to get you to this point, as long as you do not fall into this delusional Hanged Man reverse energy, which is, as I suggested, lying to yourself about how productive your introspections are. So a great example would be like somebody who's not actually sick anymore, but they're like really milking it on coming back to work because they want to make sure they get really healthy first. But they've basically been fine for weeks or even just days, but the idea is that there's a part of them inside of themselves that's lying to themselves about being sick, and they're even buying up their own act to a certain degree. And that is a shoddy use of mentalism in wisdom and spiritual energy, because that energy could instead be used to just taking the forward progress. So that's an example of abusing that perspective within yourself. You are lying to yourself about why you are saying you need to work on yourself, basically. And you don't actually need to work on yourself. You really need to apply yourself more. And if you can apply that to yourself, you can take up fate on these opportunities to make you happy in ways that you would truly desire, to actually be wholesome and happy in your experience. And now we have the Knight of Wands. So it's it's in a good connotation here, I'd say, with the Wheel of Fortune. The way you will take up fate on these offers is through having... So essentially what you've got here now is the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. So very masculine energy for taking action. And that combination of action is exactly how you get to the Knight of Wands. Because the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords energies are about... They're all about the action that you will be taking to take fate up on these offers. So because you're so open in this in this Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands energy, there will be a lot of attempts at success, and fate will be there often, helping to grant these successes. And it's just very simply due to the energy here. It's due to the actionable energy of both just primal force, taking primal action, but also like thinking it out as well. So it's a very solid blend of combining mental and physical action. Very strong. There's even emotional blended to it, so it's a very, very strong combination of energy. But that's exactly why this Knight of Wands can be delivered. Or not so much delivered as grown into. You grow into the Knight of Wands energy. You grow into that power. So you've grown into that power by embracing these very high action, but not just doing whatever you want to. It is about doing the right thing, which is something that you have to make sure you're being honest with yourself about in terms of your growth. But you appreciate the fact that you can be this successful, and you appreciate having this much sort of control over your ability to manifest. And I suppose I can't really blame you for that, because it would be nice to be able to manifest that successfully and feel good for doing it. So I wouldn't be surprised. It'd be cool if you got like a Knight of Pentacles here. Whoops, so as soon as I went for those two, I got... Okay, so if I play these down, kind of a strange combo, because Five of Swords reversed is definitely not where you want to be. Growing pains of reaching this Nine of Wands. So there's a little bit of a sign that you won't necessarily outgrow whatever this issue is all the way, and there will still be a little bit of there will still be some times where you take improper action and maybe struggle with some setbacks here and there, but the typical energy is being able to still move on with successful energy beyond those honest mistakes of yours. So it's a good sign that you're willing to acknowledge your honest mistakes, and it's a good sign that you're willing to do what you need to do after that point to make the difference, which is also part of how you keep moving on to this Knight of Wands power. Just waiting to see those defeats when you're in these Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords energies. You definitely want, it would be nice if all of your ideas work out or whatever, but I guess, every once in a while, it's showing that you're not going to be completely perfect, which is understandable. There is still some potential to, tribulate along the way, even though the energy's all pretty good. But the overall growth, though, is sound, so... I'm going to try and get the final card here. Okay, so the final clarifier, the Sun card, dang. And you will find a lot of success in this energy. So, very strong reading. A little bit of hiccups along the way in ways that you kind of understand how to deal with. It looks like. It looks like you understand. And it's interesting with this core energy being the Prince of Swords, the Knight of Swords. You are willing to get down and make it happen. And when you have that attitude that you're going to be open to the success, you gain the ability to allow fate to help you through inspiration. And fate can set up opportunity for your initiative to succeed because you have the proper attitude here and the proper energy. That energy is inspired by a emotional core, a sort of optimistic notion, not a realist, but I guess an optimist. It's definitely an energy of not being disillusioned. You still have a sort of outlook for the future that it contains good quality. Dreams still mean something to you, and you still believe in dreams. And when that is combined with this energy of Prince of Swords, that is a very stable emotional core. It's not an emotional core that's open to manipulation because it's more rational than that, but it can still embolden interesting mentalisms for this initiative. And that inspires this growth into sort of compounding success between mental action and physical action. So very good back and forth on that, and very confident energy here as a result. A very clear sign of personal strength and growth towards acknowledgement toward that fact. Even signs of people wanting to take you down, drag you down because of your stable core. Maybe coming bearing gifts, but possibly because they can leverage that on you later, which will interfere with your growth if you're not wary of those individuals. Taking help from the right people is key towards completing this growth without interfering with it from time to time. But the source of the interference can come from other people who will try to attack you on an emotional level through the guise of graciousness. So definitely watch out for that. There's also a sign here that there's a potential for you to over-analyze a situation. And over-analyzation can cause you to stall this process of growth. There's not much of a sign here that it's going to that you can't handle this and make the difference, but something to be wary of. That interference will cause you to miss fortune's opportunities, and it will cause your heavy initiative of the knight's energy stalling very hard, because you are going to you'll be losing your Prince of Swords quality if you're in the Hanged Man reverse energy, because your mentalism is becoming unstable. You're lying to yourself a little bit about what your mental priority should be, about the true nature of your state of being, and that makes it hard to self-reflect, and that causes fate's wisdom to go missed. So there is a sign here that you could miss sticking some of your initiative if you are kind of being lazy about your internal dialogue, and about how much that's actually serving you, and about how much you're lying to yourself about how much your actions are making you stronger and contributing to your strength. So the main thing with that is you have to make sure that you're moving forward a lot and you're growing a lot, and that you aren't finding ways to take it easy that don't actually serve you. So, okay, I think that makes sense. So now we also have the Nine of Wands energy here. Definitely a sign of personal strength. Somebody earned these 9 wands. They made it to that capacity. They can do that of their own volition. They are not disappointed in having to... They haven't run into any negative mentalism necessarily for being disappointed about the effort required, even though they may have made some mistakes along the way. Despite the fact that they've made mistakes along the way, they've continued their ability to learn and grow and move forward and find success anyways, and it has reinforced a very bright internal optimism. Finding the bright side is solid in this core energy. The Nine of Wands strength is coming from an interesting blend of mental and emotional capacity, and taking the better nature of the Page of Cups energy and stabilizing it with the Prince of Swords energy, and sort of the vice versa, the Prince of Swords energy, the hasty to recklessness being girded a little bit by Page of Cups energy. And that combination is proving very strong. And the Nine of... because of it's even known within the individual's heart that's strong, because their Nine of Wands power is clarified by the Sun card. So their internal world is even very strong. They are used to being strong in themselves. They are confident in their strength because they're so assured of it, and they are relying on all of the proper energies to keep all this balanced. So reaching the Sun card, that's a good sign that you won't let this hater get you down, even if it derails you a little bit. Depends on how well you listen. You're not going to let these mistakes get you down, and you're not going to let these mistakes get you down. The energy, it's a lot of signs of this energy being very stabilized. So pretty cool. Thank you very much for being here, Aquarius. I think that's just about it for this very interesting energy. So I appreciate that you were here, and it actually looks like you're doing pretty good, so I wish you good luck anyway, but it looks like you're kicking some butt, so nice work. Alrighty. Thank you for being here. I'll see you later.